How's it going, guys? It's Najam. Welcome back to another video. So in this video I'm gonna review the iFi xCAN. Now this is a portable headphone amplifier and this was sent over to me by iFi, and I've been using it for the past 2 or 3 weeks. Kind of can't remember because it's been a while, and in this video I'm going to review it. I do have to send this back, so that's why I'm gonna just go ahead and review it now. In my opinion, this is pretty much the end game when it comes to headphone amplifiers. Now it has quite a few features in there which I'm going to go over in this video, and so let's just get on with it. So as you can see, the design is pretty much the same, or it's really similar to the iFi X DSD USB DAC. So you got the front wheel over here to change the volume, you got the LED, and you still got the bass boost and everything over there, pretty standard. And at the back over here, as you can see, it's got USB Type-C to charge with the battery level indicator at the back over here. And now this is only for charging because this is a headphone amplifier, not a USB DAC. You also have the bass boost and single-ended and balanced inputs. So there's no USB input because this is just a headphone amplifier. Now I'm just gonna get one thing out of the way, and that's the battery life. This thing lasts very long. I haven't really been able to run it out of the juice. So right now, if I go ahead and turn it on, which is pretty simple, you just press this button down and it cycles through the modes. So green is for analog input and blue is for Bluetooth. As you can see, it's on green. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and turn it off. So to turn it off, you just hold it. When everything goes by, it's gonna turn off. Now I've been using this with Bluetooth only because I have a use for that, and I'm pretty sure the single-ended will sound fantastic because the Bluetooth on this sounds really good. Now you should be able to tell by now the design is pretty much the same as the iFi X DSD, which I did take a look at last year and I was quite happy with it. So design wise, this is pretty much similar to the X DSD. Inside internally is fully analog again, but this does keep on rotating endlessly. So I don't know how they're doing that, but I do have to agree, it is analog sounding. It sounds very analogish. It does have faders as well, so when you mute the Bluetooth when you're using it, it does kind of fade it in and out, so that's pretty nice instead of just blowing your ears up. Now let's go ahead and connect it to Bluetooth. Now I've connected this with multiple devices including my phone and also music player with lossless files on it, and so you just basically hold this down, it turns on, and you go ahead and turn the Bluetooth on, and it should actually connect over here automatically. It should pop up as iFi aptX audio, and it's going to connect in a bit. But I've got multiple devices, so there we go, it's connected. Now if you use multiple devices with your phone, obviously it's gonna take a little longer. So the phone was deciding between the Bluetooth earbuds or something and this, so it's a bit stupid. But if you use this and you're only gonna need to use this, it's always gonna connect directly. Now if you go into your music, so as you can see, it's blue right now. It's going green, and that's the volume level that's on. So I'll put it low. Every time I turn it off, I put a low in case it just blows up some of my headphones, because this has a lot of power. So as you cycle through the volume, it changes color and it goes off, which basically means it's gone off. And one thing I found really interesting, or I shouldn't say interesting, is that when it actually goes off to on, there's very minor increase in the audio volume, whereas the Mojo, again, it is very small when you turn it off and then on again, but this is even much more lower. And as you go up, it does accelerate, so you can spin it faster to go up and down faster, increase the volume faster, but I prefer doing it slowly because you have a better control of the volume. Red is the maximum, and that's when it outputs a lot of power. Now this is balanced and single-ended, so you can input balanced audio coming out of like a music player or something, and you can use that. And if you use balanced, I think this is going to do 1000 milliwatts per channel, or is it 500 milliwatts per channel, which is quite a lot of power. But I'm not sure about single-ended, it might be lower, but then again, this was able to push pretty much every headphone or IEM I was going to use with this. And I mean, I've not had any problem with audio dropouts. The sound quality over Bluetooth is pretty nice. I did connect this with my speaker, Bluetooth speaker. Instead of connecting that directly to my phone, I was able to connect this to my phone and put the speaker onto this thing. And what that allowed me to do is have better control over the volume level, because that speaker is absolutely insane. One press of volume and it's either really, really loud or really quiet. So this fixed that, and they also made it sound a lot better as well. So let's talk about the X bass thing over here, because they've done something. So as you can see, is X bass 2, so not 1, whereas on the X DST that was 1, this is 2. So they updated that. Now what this does is you have 2 options for X bass back over here, presence and bass, or you can have both of them on. Now this basically messes a bit around with your bass to the mid basses and stuff. Presence is basically boosting up the mids. So if you have something that if you have earbuds or whatever that have a V-shaped signature, this will fix that if you push it into presence. Bass, now according to iFi on the manual, they say that it's more natural to mess around with the mid frequencies and all that, and instead of the lower end bass, sub bass, because that's meant to stay the same. And so they've been this increases that mid bass, and also obviously everything lower than that, and it is really, really smooth. It does make it a lot warmer as well, so you can definitely hear the bass boost. And I have to say, I might not agree with them, but it does sound pretty natural and everything in the way it does the bass boosting. And of course this is fully analog, so you're not gonna mess around with the audio quality. So it will increase some distortion, because of course it's going through some of the components on the motherboard, but that's the thing with every other thing as well, so you're not going to be able to escape that. Now 3D basically is when it takes the audio and it pushes it off your ears or head to make it sound like you're listening to a hi-fi system, and that gets rid of fatigue. In my opinion, it sounds a little bit more brighter, so that's why you can press it again and have both of them on. And this basically allows you to kind of act as if you've just added a subwoofer to your hi-fi system, and it sounds really, really good with this. It's pretty nice. I mean, in terms of sound quality, the thing is I can't really compare this to the Cord Mojo or anything, because this is a headphone amplifier, not a DAC. But for Bluetooth, it does have a DAC inside it, which is ESS Saber DAC, and it sounds pretty nice. It only does up to 48 kHz 16-bit over Bluetooth, because I think that's the limits of the aptX. But it sounds pretty nice. I can't compare it, but I mean I shouldn't, but I'm gonna do it. So the Mojo sounds a lot more aggressive, and obviously if it's wired, which is, it doesn't have Bluetooth, it sounds much nicer. I mean, as in better in terms of the sound stage and everything. This sounds a lot more mellow and everything, so it's a lot more smoother, softer, and it's a lot more pleasing to my ears. But if you get used to the Mojo, obviously you're not gonna care about it. But if you get used to this, you're not gonna care about that. This is cheaper than the Mojo, and so this, in my opinion, is if you're gonna use your phone with it, this will be the better option. I honestly have no problem with it, like I'm serious, like not even a single problem with this. In fact, I would like to buy one of this, but I'm not gonna, because I don't really need it. It's just one I might want. It's really, really good. I'm really impressed with what this thing does. Now there is some other thing with the FIO. I think it's the FIO Q5. That's a USB headphone amplifier kind of thing like this. Now this thing is like really, really powerful, but it also sounds really, really good. Now I heard of the FIO Q5 Z reviews. This is the same price as that, so you have a choice. Either get this or just get this. Don't get the Q5, because that thing sucks. I'm not saying FIO is a bad company, but I mean, this thing sounds pretty good. And according to the Amazon reviews on the FIO Q5, it does have some problems, but this thing doesn't. This thing is absolutely amazing. It's really good. Some of the use cases are actually pretty nice as well. Let's go ahead and turn it off. So let's say you want to I'll go ahead and turn the Bluetooth off, and it's gone. Let's say you want to come home and you want to put this on your hi-fi system, and you got your music on your phone. Turn this on, put it onto your hi-fi system, and just connect your music on here, and it'll start playing. You can control the volume here as well, but on the phone, make sure you keep it like 80%. Don't go over that, or if you want to just get extra volume out of it, go ahead, because you don't need it. This thing goes a lot loud as well. So you got a hi-fi system, you pop this on, and it'll sound pretty good. Now again, in my opinion, Bluetooth sound quality, and even from this, there are some frequencies that I find are missing when you compare it to wired, but for Bluetooth itself is pretty good. It does have a massive battery, so about 12 hours if you're using Bluetooth, and 18 hours if you're using wired in. So that's pretty nice as well. Yeah, I think I'll leave a link in the description. Pick this up if you're looking for something like this. This is, it's really good. It's a really good. I like this more than the XDSD, which I think they pointed it, try to fight against the Code Mojo, but they shouldn't have done that because it's just not a right way of making a product. This is much better. I don't know what they're pointing this towards, but they don't need to do anything like that. It is pretty good. This thing is just amazing. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to send this back, but I would like this. It's pretty nice. Anyways, I'll leave links in the description. Go ahead and pick this up if you're interested. Thank you for watching. Here's a fingerprint magnet. And I'll see you guys in another video.